Members of Goodnight, Texas here backstage. Welcome, Avi and Pat.
Hi.
How are y'all doing?
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I mean, the weather's beautiful. I got to witness an eclipse today. Y'all got to play a set during the eclipse.
I will never get over this.
How was that?
I still can't find the words, and I feel speechless about it.
Yeah.
I'm like an eclipse nerd. Like, I went to the 2017 one, and I went up in Idaho. I already have tickets to come out here again in April of next year.
Awesome.
And just for that to happen while we were playing was totally unbelievable.
That's pretty magical.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
You know what boggles my mind about it is that I told you about it like 3 days ago, and you didn't know it was going to happen. Is that true?
No, you were the one who told me about it.
Right.
I didn't know it was an annular one though. I was like, no, it's in April.
Right.
And I was like, oh, because I was looking at all the total eclipses, and then it was like, oh, the annular one.
Those slipped through. You missed.
They slipped through, and we weren't in the path of totality, but it still was.
But it was still pretty.
It was eerie. It was eerie.
The shadows were beautiful.
You could feel the wind.
Did y'all have the glasses?
We had the glasses.
Okay, good. Y'all were prepared for
were
it.
safe.
We broke them out on
safe.
stage during our song at the time, during when it was peaking, and we jumped up front on the subwoofers.
Awesome.
And so we could see it because the sun was a little bit on top of the stage.
How was the crowd? Were they like
so good?
Super into? I mean, I assume the energy around that whole thing plus y'all must have been pretty cool. So.
Everyone was just seemed like they were in a great mood.
They brought the energy at 11:45 a.m. Like
yeah,
I've never
it's
seen.
Hard, it's hard to play that time, and I actually think that eclipse was a gift to y'all because it probably lifted the energy, you know. So yeah.
Maybe there were some people that came earlier just to catch the eclipse here and happened to see us or something. Which was wild.
But they were fortunate to catch y'all because I've been listening to you guys for the past few days, and y'all are awesome. I'm actually really bummed I missed y'all set, and I really want to see y'all live because I love your sound. I love the new single, Rivaling.
Runaways.
Runaways. Sorry, why did I get Rivaling?
Right
Runaways. I put an R in my head.
That's
and
a good song title. We'll write that song and we'll come back and talk to you about it.
Please write Rivaling and come back. Yes.
Get back to you.
Rivaling the Eclipse or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Runaways. It's awesome. You like ours. There's a song called The Railroad too,
yeah,
right?
Railroad,
Okay,
yeah.
Railroad. But I really love y'all's sound, and y'all have had some pretty incredible peaks in your career that we'll talk about. But first, I want to figure out how you guys started, because when I looked y'all up, of course, there's the town Goodnight, Texas that comes up, a town of 20 people, maybe, very, very tiny town that I had no idea even existed. It's in the Panhandle, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Yes.
But I guess it's the halfway point between where both of y'all live, or two of the band members.
At the time.
Okay,
At the time it was, and we're sticking to that story.
Got it. Okay,
no
I like
matter
it.
where we go.
Yes.
That's our starting
That's the
point.
theme,
That's
yes.
the footprint. Yeah.
So where do y'all live?
So I was at the time lived in the city of San Francisco.
Okay.
I live in the Bay Area still.
Okay.
And my apartment was like sort of out by the Pacific Ocean.
Gotcha.
In like one of those houses, which was 1,400 town of Goodnight, Texas.
Very cool.
And then
I lived in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where my wife grew up. And
Okay.
that is 1,415 miles the other direction. Not as the car drives, not as the crow
right,
flies.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
Okay. So, but what's cool is even though you have no physical connection to Goodnight, Texas, what I heard is when y'all released your your debut album, you went and distributed CDs door to door to all of the people who lived there.
yes.
That's
right.
wonderful.
Yeah, we drove. We happened to be ending a tour at the end of September. I think the record came out at the beginning of October, and we ended a tour a few days before. We were driving the car back to California.
Yeah.
So we just stopped in. We're like, well, we should give everybody the CD.
Absolutely.
Maybe they'll hate us. And we basically almost to apologize and be like, I hope this is okay that we've borrowed your town name. And they were so warm and welcoming. And we've been back many times and played shows. It's been a while. We got to get back there.
Yeah. I think
if
you
you're
should
watching
do an
this,
annual.
if you're watching this,
There you go. Yes,
We should
exactly.
do an annular visit.
An
Yeah.
annular visit. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe celebrate the eclipse there. I don't know if it's in the path. I know that there's. I think
it might have gone through there actually.
Yeah.
It was pretty close because it went through Oregon and came down.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see
So
the path exactly
To
where
get
it
here,
hit.
it must
so.
have been maybe Panhandle-y.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Panhandle-y. I like that.
Panhandle-y.
Yeah.
So, okay, y'all have been in Austin for how long for this particular show today? When did y'all get here?
We got in on Thursday night.
Okay,
And he actually got in yesterday morning.
got it.
Yes.
And any more shows in these here parts?
One and done.
One and done.
Yeah,
Y'all literally came in for
we
this.
did that. We came in for the Eclipse.
For the Eclipse
And
party
we just
slash
happened to-
ACL Fest. That's
Yeah,
a
and
pretty
we-
good reason, like double reason
And
to
we
come
just
to
did a
Texas.
set while we were here.
Well, is it your first time in Austin, or have y'all been here before?
We've been here before. We were here for South by Southwest this March.
Okay, cool.
And we've been to South by Southwest before, but we've been here to play other shows. I mean,
Yeah.
Austin's one of my favorite
Various
towns.
spots.
Yeah.
Empire Control Room.
Empire Control Room.
yeah.
Yep.
And
Some great venues.
where else have we played?
Where did we play with Rusted Root that time?
Oh, did y'all play with Rusted Root?
That's true. We opened for
That's
Rusted
awesome.
Root.
I love it.
It was just west of Congress. It was like a back patio. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah. It was-
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
So do y'all have
assortment.
plans in the near future to come back around here, or like basically what's happening after this? Y'all go back home and any touring, recording? What's happening in y'all's world?
I think we're off for a couple weeks,
Okay.
but yeah, we got a nice little break now.
Good.
And then we're playing some shows in New Mexico and Arizona with our buddy John Craigie.
Oh yeah,
And we're
he's
working on-
great.
he's fantastic.
Fabulous.
Yes. And we're working on a new album.
Cool.
Mixing a bunch of new songs that we just recorded.
When y'all record, since y'all live in different places, where do y'all record? Or do y'all record
Goodnight,
like
Texas.
separately and then Goodnight? I was gonna say.
No,
I think
that's
they'll
not
need
true.
to build a little studio there.
Yeah, we
and
probably
that-
should. We should
yeah.
build a studio there.
You should look into that.
Yeah.
I'm
The,
sure
uh,
land is cheap. You
It's
know.
gotta be.
Yeah.
We
exactly.
usually get together. We usually record some stuff separately, but we get together and do the basic tracks.
Okay.
And then he's got we have like similar gear in both spots, so he can do some parts from out in New Jersey where he now lives.
Cool.
And I can do it in California. But for this record, we really tried going much more into a proper studio.
Yes.
And
organic
and
way.
we're working with the Polici brothers in the
Cool.
Bay Area, Jay and Ian Polici, who are fantastic engineers, producers, mixers, and so we've been working on stuff there with
Okay.
them. And
We've been kind of DIY for most of the stuff that we've done before
yeah,
this.
our first 4 records were all recorded at home.
Yeah. And
Right
now,
on.
now
Yeah.
we're leveling up a little bit, and it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
nice. It's like, oh, okay.
It's like,
You know,
wow.
it's like
Awesome.
nice pillows and snacks.
Yeah.
we're
Now
not-
you're getting those green M&Ms in the rider
That's right,
starting
yeah.
to be provided.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a good next level to get to. Well, awesome. Well, can I ask you one last question? What is when y'all? How did y'all meet? Did I even ask y'all that? I got the story of y'all recording from different places, but how did the musical project even come together exactly?
So I moved to San Francisco. I'm from the East Coast originally. Moved to San Francisco.
Okay.
1,000 years ago, and went to a local cafe down the street from my apartment, and he was playing a show. I think he was
Okay.
filling in for his friend who couldn't do the show or something. So it was total chance. And I thought he was great. And went up to me after the show. Was like, "Hey man, I just moved to town." And he was like,
You
"Oh,
wanna
okay."
form a band?
Yeah, right. He was like, "All right, come to my open mic." And then we went to the open mic, and it was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it." And we started co-hosting the open mic and like just
Right on.
learning each other's songs, and then started playing shows together. And then I moved to North Carolina. And it was like, well, maybe this is over. And it was like, actually, this is when we're going to form the band for real.
That's
So that's
pretty.
yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's actually pretty unique. Is that
Yeah.
like it's kind of like when you moved away, that's when things started to get more fruitful for y'all. Sometimes distance makes the band grow stronger. Did I just
I
Coin a
suppose
phrase.
so.
make a new T-shirt or
I think you
something?
did.
On the
I think
air.
so.
I think
Every
I did.
every tour is like a reunion, like a
Yeah.
family reunion.
That's so. Where do the other band members live?
Our bass player Chris lives in Brooklyn,
Okay.
so he's on the East Coast.
Cool.
And then drummer Cody, who's here today, lives in Oakland.
Okay, so it's like kind of a split,
They're kinda split,
coastal
yeah.
thing. Okay, bi-coastal. Awesome.
yeah.
Well, I want to come see y'all in Goodnight, Texas sometime. I hope you will. I think you need to like do something like a tiny festival or a eclipse party, perhaps for
Yeah.
the next eclipse. But
That would
We're
be
overdue.
great.
yeah,
We can make it easier for you to come back to Austin.
Just
too.
come back
Yeah.
to Austin.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Then I don't even have to drive.
Yeah.
And your latest album is called "How Long Will It Take for Them to Die?" Did I get that right?
Almost. How long will it take them to die?
How long will it take them to die?
Same meaning though.
I really like the name of that album. Can you tell me what spawned that?
Something he
What is them?
he wrote it
it's-
as a lyric.
Yeah, it's from the last song on the record is called
Okay.
"How Long," and that's the kind of the refrain, and it's the classic country format of three verses coming at it from different angles,
Yeah.
and the implication is sort of like you can kind of take it however you want it to be. people see that because the words are very big on the
Yeah,
cover, and they're
yeah,
like,
I
what
like
does
it.
that mean?
Yeah,
What are
yeah,
you
yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you talking about? That's kind of the point.
It just starts an interesting conversation.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Who
It's-
is them? What is them?
What is that?
Yeah.
The verses are about like your dreams dying and people dying
Right.
and bugs in my kitchen dying. So it's like I don't know. Could be any of those.
Well, it's great album. I kind of went through all of y'all's music this past week and just like thoroughly enjoyed it. Y'all are actually kind of like one of my new favorite discoveries of this festival.
Wow,
It's
thank
always
you.
really fun to like, it's like the bottom half of the fest. I always really try to pay special attention to because it's not the bigger artist. It's kind of like the, bands you might not have heard of. And so I always really enjoy discovering it. And y'all are kind of like my fun discovery this festival of like, man, I really like this band. Like I'm going to listen to them on a regular basis. So thank you for coming by and thank you for playing Austin. And we hope it happens again.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out Goodnight, Texas, y'all. And we'll see them either in Goodnight or Goodnight from ACL Fest. No, I'm just kidding. There's no clever way to get out of this one.
Yeah.
Just
Sun Radio
good day.
100.1.
Yeah, there you go. Can y'all get me out of this one? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just do a little jingle for me.
Sun
Anyway,
Radio.
Avi and Pat,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thanks so much
Best
for
of
having
luck
us.
wherever y'all are headed, and I hope your kiddo is feeling better. I know that sucks to have a sick kiddo, especially at a festival. So,
Indeed.
yeah. Anyway,
Thank you.
cheers. Thanks, y'all.
Cheers.
Great.